Right, good morning everybody. Welcome to Total Fitness Wednesday. Today's routine is the notorious 100 reps, the 100 rep challenge. Part 1, there are 2 parts to this. So the clues in the title, we're trying to aim for 100 reps, various sort of fundamental exercises. We've got swings, squats, rows, lateral raises, push-ups, sit-ups, and there's a few burpees squeezed in as well. I'll go through all the details shortly. It's quite a tough one, and you're going to need a kettlebell for a couple of the movements and some light hand weights for your lateral raises. Anyway, let's get warmed up, and then I can go through the details as usual. Okay, so you're on the top first then. Nice and loose. Loosen the shoulders. Chest to stretch. Take a circle each way. Stretch the front of the body, stretch the back.
Feel the embers burning, dancing too close to the light. The tables keep on turning. These might get heated tonight. Our hearts might be breaking. Our love might be leaking. You and I ignite. We're feeding the fire.
So the idea is you're getting 100 reps of each of the given exercise. Now, we are working through the fundamental movement patterns. Okay? So these standard exercises. We want to cover, as usual, we've got a nice balanced routine. So we have posterior legs, anterior legs, lats, chest, shoulders, abs. Okay? So it's all covered. So the idea is you've got 5 minutes to do 100 reps of each of the given exercises. However, the bell goes every minute and you've got to stop your count wherever you are and do somewhere between 3 and 5 burpees. Okay, if you're more advanced, 5 burpees every time. Intermediate, 4. Beginner, 3. Possibly 2. Okay? And look, if you get too tired, leave them out. 1. Okay? Whatever you can do. You can only do what you can do. And also, don't put yourself under pressure to do 100. If you don't get to 100 in 5 minutes, that's okay. Next time, you know, you might. Or it might be the time after the time after. It doesn't matter how many attempts it takes you. Okay? Particularly the last couple, like the press up, for instance, really tough. There's only a couple of us who've ever done 100 on it. So give yourself a reasonable aim. Go aim for 50 first. And then try and improve each time you do it. Because it does get hard, okay? Also, you're counting. I wouldn't try and squeeze in too many reps the first couple of minutes, otherwise you'll hit that lactic wall and you'll never recover. So either limit anything to 25 reps. I definitely wouldn't go above that for anything, and some of them won't go 24. Okay? So limit your reps. It's tempting just to try and get as many as you can done. Remember, it's not a race. Just get them done with good form. It's just as important as getting them done. And also, when you're done, if you get to 100 before the 5 minutes, you're going to switch to jacks, okay? So you're just doing steady jacks, so you're still working, okay, no matter what, and you still do those burpees, no matter what, even if you finish before the last minute. So we've got kettlebell swings for the posterior, bodyweight squats for the anterior legs, kettlebell rows for lats, lateral raises for shoulders, push-ups for chest, and sit-ups for abs, okay? And a whole load of burpees in this week. So the first bell, you always start with your burpees before you've even begun. Then you start your counts, Okay? Remember, keep a count as well. It's easy to lose count. Okay? So yeah, wherever you get to, let's say the bell goes at the second minute and you're on 22, then you just do your 5 burpees or whatever many you're doing, and then you carry on, 23, 24, 25. Keep a running total for the 5 minutes. If you hit 100, you can just revert to jacks. Okay? And that's how it's going to work. We're starting with posterior legs, posterior chain. Okay, hamstrings loose, and that's kettlebell swings. So when you fall the swings, okay, no daylight, we don't want to see this, it's there. Once you start, through the triangle, okay, you want nice, proper power, okay, up to eye level, every rep needs to count. Okay, let's get it done. Right, so starting with burpees each and every minute. Okay. Dreading the start. Never mind, we'll get through it. One string. So burpees then. the posterior chain exercise, swing deadlift. Okay, where you're just dropping back. Okay, your chest coming down. You've got to keep your head and chest high this time. And your hips, okay, they do go back. But you're focusing more on that downward movement. The more depth, the better. 100 deep squats, believe me. You're going to feel it. It's probably one of the worst of all of them, this one. And also, don't complain, don't worry. You'll notice it takes me a long time to get these done. If you've got long legs, long fingers, and long shins like me, it will take you longer, so don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry if you see those finished. Just stick to what you're doing. You'll notice I'll probably be one of the last. So you're sitting in, nice and deep, all the way back up. Okay, if you can. What we don't want is what could easily be done. This. Okay, and then off, done. Okay, you've got at least 90 degrees. You can't tell me you can't get 90. You can't, everyone can sit on a chair, can't they? So, you know, you can get 90 degrees. Definitely. Okay, even if you can't get deeper. So we want maximum depth for those 100. Again, your burpees, exactly the same. Okay. So, here we go then. Here we go. 3, 2.
Your own personal Jesus. Someone here rest, someone cares. Your own personal Jesus. Someone here rest, someone cares. Reach out and say. I'm just dying in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should've walked away. I should've walked away. I should've walked away. I'm just dying in your arms tonight. I should've walked away. If it wasn't for the music, I don't know what I'd do.
Dumbbell press, shoulders, lateral raises. Okay. Okay. So we've done hamstrings and glutes, quads. We've done lats. We're moving on to shoulders now with lateral raises. Okay, so we want to be nice and strict with these as well. So what we want is here, dumbbells to the side, no dead range. Got your power lateral raise, okay? Very much cheating really, building momentum. Okay, now we're going to strip that raise. We're cutting that dead range out. You're starting here by the side of your hips. And you stop at shoulder height. Your arms not locked. Slight bend, but only slight. You don't want to be like this. Okay? We want to be as strict as we can. You don't need a lot of weight for that. Particularly with this sort of volume, you won't need probably as much as what you think, okay? Once again, don't go too far, don't get tempted to hit the 30s and stuff, because once you hit that lactic barrier with such a small muscle group as well, again, you're unlikely to recover. You're going to be in some pain. Okay, so.
I don't think I've got it in. I'll do a few degrees. I'm 50 degrees and then I'll go to 2.
Are you ready? Lateral raises.
What if I just take this call? So I said wait.
Well, that's good. I think I might have to take a call in a minute. Okay. Right, you ready? Strict lateral raises.
looking like this it goes. I know you won't give me go, cause I got plenty of friends and a bottle of coffee Patron. She only came for one drink, but she take her out for the show. Cause if we running it up, no sleep. Even more hard to go repeat. Like a bird that stay in control at the top of the phone, I let it go. Cause if we running it up, no sleep. Even more hard to go repeat. Like a bird that stay in control at the top of the phone, I let it go.
It's all bodyweight from here on in. Right. Well. Does it get easier? No. Right. Now, arguably, the hardest to achieve now is press-ups, push-ups, whatever you want to call them. Okay, right. 100 press-ups. Now don't forget, you are going to be happy here by how many burpees you've done. Okay? And also, because you're pushing off the floor on them, and you're doing burpees in between, and you just work your shoulders. Okay? So, you can see this is all. What I suggest, first of all, definitely on the knees for those people. You only hope of getting it done. Okay? To do these 100 on your toes and chest to floor like that, I'm telling you now, it is extreme. So give yourself a realistic aim. Go for 10 each minute, and I promise you that'll be enough. Okay? If you want to do more, that's up to you. I'm just telling you, from experience. Also, don't fall into the trap that I once did. If you are good at push-ups, and you're whacking out 20, 30, oh my God, I just get to 50 in a minute, I've got half of them done in a minute. It doesn't work like that, I found out the hard way. It doesn't work. Again, you just hit that lactic ball and you're in a world of pain, honestly. So don't even try that. Set your ceiling. I would say 20. Okay? I wouldn't do any more than that. Okay. So I do the world, you know, you're very advanced, chest to floor every time. But look, we'll forgive a bit of skipping on the floor in this because it is so extreme. So let's see how you get on. I'm actually dreading this, right? There we go. Last one. Sit-ups. Your last one. Again, aim for 20 each minute. Now, because you're doing so many, I would suggest you do a cheat sit-up. We want them to be measured. Okay, so measured cheating, I call it. So whereas you strict sit-up, you're like that, doing 100 then. So what we do, touch the floor, heels. And that way, you're cheating, but it's measured cheating. Okay? That's, the issue is now doing the burpees. Because your upper body's so good, I might do it. Right. This is it then. Okay. I don't even got a little burpee in me. Obviously. Okay. Let's do it then. The last one. Obviously, there's no finisher. It's like 5 finishes, 6 finishes, it is, isn't it, really? Okay, ready? 3, 2. for both. Well done at home. Thanks for subscribing, tuning in. Have a lovely day, or I might see you in a couple of minutes.